Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of the basics of healthy eating. I am chatting today with Dr. Elvie Abanico Ochoa on the basics of healthy eating. She has inspired me, and I hope you've been inspired too by what she has shared with me in part 1 of this conversation. And I just want to welcome you back. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's hear what Dr. Elvie has to say, because she believes that the basics of healthy eating in her own journey, in her own life, with her own experience, has been inspired by the scripture. So I hope you will be encouraged and inspired to tap into this. No pressure, but hey, let's all learn, right? Stay with us. Don't walk away.
Okay. On the 6th day, I was only drinking water the whole day. On the 7th day, I fasted. I remember it was a Sabbath day. It's a Saturday. And I said, I will break the fast when the sun goes down. And I broke the fast. I remember I was with a friend when I broke the fast. And we went to a restaurant. She ordered meat and she was eating in front of me. And I ordered vegetables. And of course, a rice, a rice and the vegetable. As I was looking at her, I did not feel any like, oh, I want to eat that. I did not. I did not. The craving was gone. I don't know what God has done, but definitely the Holy Spirit telling me you're doing it right. And basically that taste or that wanting or that craving was not there anymore since then. I remember it was March of 2006. So after that, my learning did not stop there. I read a lot. I've been through a lot of research and learnings and readings to make sure in my mind also, not only that I've known about the Bible, but on the medical side, my brain is founded that I am doing the right thing. Then I started looking at alternatives to meat. So there's a lot of alternatives to meat. You can have tofu. So you're getting the sources of what you will be removing. You will be replacing it. So in the plant-based diet, there's a lot of meat alternatives.
Yeah.
Yes. Right now, there's a lot of selections compared when I started in 2006. Right now, they have made a burger patty that tastes like that. But the blood part, to have like a blood thing part, it was a beetroot. So there's a lot of alternatives now. But if you're going to ask me, I would go, that will be like a pleasure only to eat meat alternatives like that, because the reason why is you're going to remove the meat, but if ever you're just craving for it, then you can just get those. But for us, we do it like in a way like a tofu can be in different kinds of dishes. It's just replacing your meat with the tofu. And we enjoy that so much that my kids, like, wherever we go, we look for tofu. Number one. Number two, beans are also a good source of protein because meat has a lot of protein in it. You know, Fauza, just to have an information, the protein in the meat is complete protein in a way because it's like us. They have 19 amino acids, which we only need like 8 amino acids that we could get from our diet. So imagine if I'm eating a complete protein like meat and getting so much protein in my body, which I don't need because I only need a few amino acids, like 8 of that. And I'm getting it so much in my body. So what is going to happen with my body? It needs to be eradicated, and the kidney is suffering on that. So something is suffering because of a lot of protein. So the good thing with a plant-based diet, the protein that you're getting is just what you're missing in your body. You know
Just,
how
yeah,
beautiful God made it? He
yeah.
is putting the one that the amino acids that you need from the food. You can get it from the food you eat in nature. You don't
Hmm.
have to go to meat. Okay. Now, if the next thing also is that you need to know that you are doing the right thing apart from what God has done, because there are some people who will be asking why you're not eating that,
Yeah, of
why you're
course. Yeah.
not this. So,
So
I
you
mean,
also, yeah, you have to make a full decision when, and really, but because it's also there is the biblical aspect in it, then you're not just doing it, anyhowly, you're also following the good book. So
yeah,
I know you have prepared something that it can actually help myself and help our
yes,
viewers. Maybe so that we can really
yes,
understand and have, because it's easier said than done, you know that,
yes,
right? So how, if you can give us some punches, like some whatever
yes.
whatever you will, to, like things that we can really follow, like if someone really wants to dive into this, like they would have like day-to-day kind of lifestyle, because this is also a lifestyle, Dr. Elvie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. It's a lifestyle. I want to share to you a screen. It's okay. Okay, can you see it? I think we
Yes,
can. Yes.
yes.
Okay. So basically, the optimal well-being and nutrition is mainly taken from all the food that we could see in nature. Now, this is, for me, this slide will more of telling you to make a decision. Okay. So I want to show you these slides, and I hope you could appreciate it very well as you go through it. Number one, have you ever considered a cabbage versus a coronary artery bypass graft? Have you ever considered a cauliflower versus cancer? Have you ever thought of diet versus drugs? Have you ever think that mustard greens is good to treat multiple sclerosis? Have you ever thought that oatmeal is against obesity? Have you ever thought also or consider peas versus pills? Have you ever think of treats? Look at the treat, Fauza, just merely looking at that makes me salivate. It's a
It's
very
so
nice smoothie.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Rather than treatments, okay? Have you ever considered asparagus versus arthritis? Have you ever considered berries versus gastric bypass? Okay. Have you ever considered brown rice if you have bowel problems? Have you ever considered adventures versus adverse events because of the side effects of medication? It's very powerful that the father of medicine has says has said in the past that our food should be our medicine and our medicine should be our food. And this is the father of modern medicine, even of the allopathic and even with the naturopathic medicine. The principle, the principles of optimal health is only two: what we put in and what we do with our bodies. So let's go through it. There's a famous doctor in Loma Linda University. It's an Adventist university in the US, in the School of Medicine. Dr. Lamont Murdoch says, faulty genes load a gun, but the lifestyle pulls the trigger. So most of the time, we're blaming our genes, Fauza. Oh, I
Mm.
came from a family that are hypertensive, or I came from a family with cancers and different kinds of diseases. But most of the time, you have got the lifestyle of your family. That's why you're getting the disease. So even if you have a genetic predisposition, but you don't open
The
the
door.
lock, the door to it,
Yeah.
it will stay dormant. But if you open it because of your lifestyle, then
Mhm.
definitely it will make an imprint and will create disease in you. because we
Mm.
cannot do anything about genes anyway. But the
Yeah.
lifestyle, we can do something. Okay, we can do something of how we live our life. So the first thing that I want to share with you is the choices of food you eat. If you are going to look at this, is still, it's my favorite philosopher, the father of medicine, Hippocrates. He says there that all diseases begins in the gut. Okay, and if you nourish the gut, it will heal your entire body. As you know, Fauza, in our body, the stomach is very, very important
Mm.
because that is where we get all our nutrients from. If you don't put in good thing, you will reap bad things. So if you put good things in your body, you will reap good things as well. So the diseases will be removed or eradicated if we know what we put in our stomach. Okay? So what are the things, the beauty of this plant-based food? Just merely looking at that, I can see so many recipes there that I can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the beauty of the fruits, the grains, the nuts, the seeds, the legumes, all in one, those colors that you can see there creates health. Because in our body, Fauza, there's a lot of molecules of different colors as well. So if we feed our body with this kind of food, it gives the molecule to create uh, building blocks for you to have health.
Mm.
Fauza, they said, how can you create a house if you don't have materials to create it? How
Absolutely.
could you put health? Yes, how could you put health if you don't have the materials to give you health? And
Yeah.
these are your materials. This is your cement, your nails, your
Pillars,
yes, this
water,
is
sand, stones.
pillars, everything. This is your pillar. And then eventually you create health. So having all this food is the best food that you can put into your body because all this food is high fiber. As you know, Fauza, we also have some microbiome, the good and the bad bacteria. They are helping us to digest all of this. Now, we
Mm.
cannot avoid the bad bacteria, but we can overgrow them having good bacteria. And this is the food of the good bacteria. So we need to also feed our gut microbiome, which is also responsible for the digestion and the absorption of our food.
Right.
Now, your plate. How is the look of your plate? Okay. Now, if you're going to look
My
at
plate
this,
has rice, meat, and kale.
oh, okay. But if we're going to look at this plate, dear Fauza, you can see that we have grains there, we have fruits, we have nuts, we have vegetables, and we have the beans and the lentils, which is the good source of protein. It should not be overpowered, like half of it is one side only. It should be varied.
Balance.
It should be colorful. It should be full of different nutrients. Not like half of it is meat and half is rice. So where are the other things? So you cannot nourish your body like that. So you should be able to have a variety of fruit, vegetables, grains, nuts, and all the beauty of the plant-based food, both raw and cooked, is nice on this plate. So look at that plate. It should be the look of your plate on a daily basis. The next one, timing matters. Fauza, there are some people who graze like cows. What I mean, graze like cows, they eat every hour, every second by the minute. The timing really matters in our body. We need to understand that our
Mm.
stomach has 4 hours of digestion. That's
Mm.
why after 4 hours, you get hungry because it will empty the stomach. It will go to the small intestine for absorption. So
Mhm.
what will happen if you are eating every hour
Mhm.
after the hour?
Yeah.
There was a research, Fauza, that there is a person that ate at 8 o'clock and it's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and the 8 o'clock food is still in the stomach. It's because the digestion will not fully emptied if half part is only digested. So basically, the one that is just going down is the one that is digested. And
Yeah.
what is going to happen if you're eating hour after the hour? So timing matters. That's why the body is made up to be like this. Once you put food in the stomach from the mouth, you need to mechanically digest it. That's why we have teeth. We should not be putting it and shug it down. It doesn't work that way because the burden will now be going to our gut, which we only have 30 ml. It's not a lot of hydrochloric acid to digest the food. So
Mhm.
we need to make sure that we use our teeth to grind. And in that way, the gut or the stomach is not fully burdened with digestion. Because imagine if you are eating so much and you're not chugging, so there will be a delay of emptying.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, yes, with the plant-based food, it's easily digestible because it's not highly dense. That's why
Mhm.
a little bit of salad can make you full because it expands in the stomach and it's easily digestible. Now with meat, you need to really chew it well because
Yeah.
the stomach is not going to be helped if it needs to increase a lot of hydrochloric to dissolve the the muscle fibers. No,
Yeah.
it's not a fiber like the plant. It's a muscle fiber. They said, oh, meat has fiber. Actually, it has no fiber. The fiber is only in the plant kingdom. The one that you see that when you peel, it's a fiber of the muscle. It's not the fiber. The fiber is the skeleton of the plant-based food, and that is very important in cleaning. If you have your broom to clean your house, we have the fiber to clean our intestine because we cannot brush it or soap it out or
Mm.
or sweep it out. So the fiber is very important. So eat more food also earlier in the day and less at night because you will be sleeping. So imagine if your gut is full of food and you're asleep already. So what's the burden of that in the stomach? It is going to work double time. It's supposed to be a time for the machine to rest, and it's still working, and it's already midnight, and there's still food to eat, food to be digested there. So we need to be very, very keen that we need to eat less food at night because you are going to be sleeping. You have no more activity that needs calorie to be burned,
Mm.
and you have also stored fat if ever it is needed only to maintain the basal metabolic rate at night, which is very low because you're sleeping. Now, the next point that I want to consider, you're not hungry, you're just thirsty. So most of the time, people are thinking, oh, I'm hungry, but I ate like 8 o'clock. Hold on to your horses because our hunger and our thirst center is in the same spot in the brain. So most of the time, when you're hungry and you just ate an hour ago, you're just thirsty. So might as well drink water first. And you know that healing, that the water also comes from drinking some water on a certain time, like this one. You drink water at the correct time because it maximizes its effectiveness on the human body. So you drink 2 glasses of water when you wake up because you're fasting. Then 1 glass 30 minutes before a meal, 1 glass before taking a bath, 1 glass before going to bed, and you just have to drink the water with a certain time. You should not be taking 5 glasses of water on your mealtime because, as you know, I mentioned a while ago, Fauza, we only have 30 ml of hydrochloric acid to dissolve. So
Yeah.
imagine if you're going to dilute it, what's the power of that to dissolve? It is already uh, saturated. It should be
Yeah.
concentrated and it's very, very potent, of dissolving food. So that's another thing. Drink water first before thinking of that. And I want to make a very good point on this. Always remember that health is always a matter of choice. So
Okay.
pick your choice as well. That is what I want to share with you today.
Wow. This is so beautiful, Dr. Elvie.
Thank
Our
you.
health, our health is a choice. We have to make that
Yes,
choice, you know? And
yes,
yeah, otherwise we will always be making excuses, and we are so good in making excuses, honestly. So
that's
now,
right.
you have shared quite a lot. It's quite a lot for, for us to digest and all that. how would you, because kids have gone back to school now, I wanted you to talk sort of to the moms, who
Mhm.
the lunch boxes, how sometimes you don't even know what to do and you put chocolate croissant, chocolate muffin, or, how would you tell parents to balance that also? Because I think our children needs to have this kind of balanced meal so that, they have all the nutrients that they
Yeah,
need.
yeah. Okay. Let me go through this because most of the time we don't let our kids eat at home, and we just give them food to go and eat in the school, right? I think the first thing that number one that the mom should do is to make an effort that the
Mhm.
kids will eat something before they go, and this something could be oatmeal or 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 whole wheat cereals in soy milk or almond milk or rice milk, anything that they could have their tummy in. So they will go to school with something inside. Because as you know, they were fasting. That's why the word breakfast is breaking the fast. And imagine the kids will normally eat only like about 8:39, and the last meal that they had was 8 at night. So they've been out 12 hours, no food. So let them have something to eat before they leave the house. That's number one. Number two, if they were not able to eat some fruits in the morning, might as well give them fruit in their lunch boxes. You can prepare it beautifully of handcrafting it with so many designs of how the kiwi become the eyes or the raisins becomes the nose. Encourage them, especially the younger ones, the below the preschoolers. You need a
Yeah.
lot of inspiration for them to give them that.
To get those
And
healthy things in their body.
yes, basically. So you need to explain them even at night before you're packing lunches that I
Mm.
am giving you fruit and give them the reasons why. That's the reason my kids are into plant-based, because I give reasons why they need to eat this kind of food. So
Mhm.
give them something like that. And if you are going to give them something to drink, instead of chocolate milk, you can give them water, or they can have some plant-based milk, because most of the time, dear Fauza, the allergies of kids are coming from animal products,
Yeah,
from
and
milk.
the food we eat. Yeah, I don't take milk myself because I have lactose intolerance. I don't take milk at
Yeah.
all. So yeah.
Yes. So yeah, encourage them to have good kind of drink like soy milk or almond milk. Or if ever, it is better for you to give them some smoothies on their lunch boxes. Just tell them to shake it before drinking it.
Take it, yeah.
And yeah, and it is nice if it's frozen fruit that you have made into smoothie, because by the time they have their lunches, it's still a little bit, nice to drink
Yeah.
rather than just outside. So you make an effort to freeze your fruits that you want to make smoothies with, and that will help them to encourage them. Now, for those children that needs to stay until the afternoon that they need to have lunch, then make sure that you are giving them varieties of food to eat, like what I have shared a while ago with how the plate looks like. Make
Mhm.
sure that they have their source of carbohydrates, their protein, their nuts as fat, their vegetables, chopped raw vegetables are very good to encourage, the stomach to put the potent
Yeah.
hydrochloric acid. That's the first thing. We need to encourage them to eat raw food first before the cooked food. And then give them some water instead of carbonated drink, because that will not really help them at all. We are going to destroy them if we do that. There's a lot of things we can give them. Lately, I don't know if you have coming to see in the supermarket, like hibiscus. Have you seen that
Yes,
hibiscus flowers that dry?
yes,
You can boil
yes.
it and make it like a lemon tea for them.
Mm.
Bring them my 6-year old, sorry, 6, 7, 13, and 22. They love hibiscus flowers. You can add that as their drink rather than that the processed one. I will not mention the brands, but you know, the processed one
I know.
that you
I
just
know.
powdered form and then you mix it. No, give them high, good kind of drinks, even at home. Don't give them easy to grab, easy to
Easy.
feel, easy to poke. No, give them, do that effort, because we are giving them a good kind of tempo, a body that they can have for the rest of their lives until Jesus comes to call them to heaven. So let's
Amen.
give them the best food, because this is the generation, this is the next generation. We need to give the health that they need to go through the
Mhm.
challenges of this world.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You have taught. It's like I was in a class. Okay.
That's nice to hear. I hope you're
Yes,
learning also, and our viewers as well.
I'm learning a lot, and I'm sure our viewers are also learning a lot, Dr. Elvie, because sometimes we actually don't realize that many of our healthy matters come from what we put in our mouth.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so thank you so much for taking your time, but also not just that you have given us, scriptural base of what also the Bible say about how we can take care of our own bodies, which I think it's very important, for us to know. And we'll have the scriptures below, for quick references and all that. And what will be your last word for, for all of us really who wants to tap into this into this lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle and you have to make a choice to, to choose to do it.
Yeah. This is something that I want to share with all the listeners and the viewers of Fauza's Diary. And I'm so blessed to be able to share my platform here, my advocacy of health and healing. Uh, I want to encourage you to invest on health. You know, put an effort to get health, because it's a choice, as I mentioned a while ago. So pick your choice well. This body is so crucial. It's not like a tire that you can just buy a tire outside and put another tire. Or you can get heart and you can just, your heart is faltering and you can get just another heart. It doesn't work that way. This is fearfully and wonderfully made, just like what the Bible says. We are made different. That's why it's hard to get somebody for a donation just like that, because we are having our own genes, our own way that God has made us.
Yeah.
God is calling us for an abundant life, not just like a life, but
Yeah.
abundant life. In John 10:10, he says that I have given you life and I'm giving it in abundance. So get that abundant life. It is nice that on your lifespan, you are not bound in bed half of your lifetime, because you cannot do anything anymore, because we did not invest on health. So make an effort that we are investing on this temple, because it's so precious, you cannot get it anywhere. It could not be bought in the department store or in the supermarket. So that's something that I want you to be encouraged, and also for you to make a decision like this, fill your mind with what is needed, because that gives you the strength to go through a lifestyle like this. The Bible is so precious. It has given us so much to learn. And secondly, if something that you still want more to learn, there's a lot of materials right now. The materials that you have is not what I have how many years ago. You have a lot of fountain there of wisdom that you can get. Tap it. It's just in your internet. It's just in your fingertips. So learn about it. And there's a lot of things you can learn for eating. Go to different kinds of avenues. There's some groups in Facebook or anywhere that you could be encouraged to see that come and see and taste the beauty of plant-based food, just like what God has said, come and see and taste that the Lord is good.
It's
So God
good.
has given us so many beauty on that. And lastly, I want to give another verse in the Bible. It is written in 3rd John chapter 1 verse 2. It says, dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health and that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. So God has interest on health, actually. It's something that He has given us from the beginning. He has given us what to eat and what not to eat. It is in the Exodus, in the book of Exodus. You can go through that, the good and the bad food there, the good and the for those who are in meat, the clean and unclean meat. Take consideration on that because there's a lot of wisdom in that. And most of all, learn to fill up yourself with things from above because that will give you stability to make decision to go through a lifestyle like this. The calling that God was letting us to do is to go and follow what He has provisioned in the Bible for us to eat and drink and live our life with Him
And live it
and live it.
until the coming. Wow.
Yeah, until
Thank
He comes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elvie, for pouring in our lives today on Fauza's diary. I really I am grateful for the wisdom you have shared with us, the scriptures, also the foundation of why you chose to take this path. Like you said, it's a choice. And for you, my viewers, you have heard it from Dr. Elvie. She's been doing this for 2 decades now, technically. So it's a choice. She says it's a choice. More than 2 decades she's in this and she's living it and she is speaking it and she is sharing it. And it's just beautiful to know what other alternatives are out there for you and I. And once again, thank you so much, Dr. Elvie, for saying yes to have this conversation with me. And I really pray that for you, my viewers, you've been blessed just like I am with all the wisdom from Dr. Elvie on this conversation. And I would want to encourage you to share this conversation because you just never know. It might help someone else's health. You will just never know. The scripture shared here might trigger something in someone's life. Please share. Sharing is caring. And I want to encourage you also to stay safe because COVID is here, but God is above all because the name of Jesus is above the name COVID. So
Amen.
right? And I will see you guys soon with another inspiring conversation just like this one. Stay safe, be healthy, and make a choice. All right? You have the power. It's in you.
Amen.
In you. See you soon.